And we've been focusing on the Ipsos Consumer Confidence Index. This is a study which looks at how people are feeling about the economy, both the current situation and what they're expecting over the next 6 months or so. And you mentioned the word mood swings. We're going to go with that idea for our graphics here. And it has been a swing, often from positive to negative and everything else in between. So let's focus on the numbers over the last few years. What you're going to see here is an assessment of the current state of the economy. And we've gone back 10 years. So how were people feeling each month over the last 10 years, Andy? What's really interesting here is we hit a high point in terms of this index in July 2010. That, of course, was when South Africa was hosting the FIFA World Cup. The vuvuzelas were blowing, the booze was flowing, everyone was very positive, Andy. And then take a look at the lowest point. That was in August last year, just after we reached the peak of that first wave. We plummeted all the way down to 28.9 points out of 100. Just for context, Andy, you're seeing that figure right there, 41.3. That is the average in terms of this index. So 41.3 is where we're generally at. But take a look at how it dropped during the lockdown and the COVID crisis. The good news, as you can see right there, is that we have been climbing for the last few months. And in March only, we were at just under 35 points. So there is a bit of positivity coming back. Perhaps we'll take a dip because we can't drink over Easter, but the numbers have been relatively good given where we were back in August 2020. And just a quick note only, 50 indicates the benchmark in terms of positivity. So anything above 50, people are feeling really positive about the economy. Anything below, they're nervous, they're anxious. And we have averaged 41. So as a country, we're not very confident about our economic situation. At least we're making something of a comeback after the COVID crisis.
Oh, Mike, that's the current state of the economy, but you're also looking at people's expectations of what's to come. How are they feeling about what's coming in the future?
So generally, South Africans are very hopeful and positive people. Let's focus on that. And you'll see that often the positivity doesn't match the reality. But this index looks at how people feel about the economy 6 months down the line. So what are they expecting? And we reached a high point on this index only in March 2018. That was when Cyril Ramaphosa took office, so a high point of 63.3 out of 100. A low point only again in August 2020, so all the way down to 39.2. The average in terms of this index, 51, so just above the positive mark. And we were getting there in December, and as you can see there, December 2020, we climbed to 49.3. Then we had those restrictions coming back into place. Remember that. We went back to level 3. So a little bit of a dip in terms of the sentiment there. Where do we stand right now? March 2021, we're at just under 48. So again, it's quite an improvement when you look at where we were in August last year. But still a long way to go, I think, Andy, until we are actually confident about the state of the economy.
Mike, just to reconcile those two graphs between the expectations and the reality, it seems South Africans very hopeful in general, and then when we reach our timeline, our expectations are dashed and we become negative again.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a key thing that you need to remember, only, is that we were at 63.3 when the president came in. Look where we were in August last year. So that's almost a differential of about 24 points. So lots of disillusionment when people were expecting this new dawn, Cyril Ramaphosa to promote investment and growth. And for one reason or another, it hasn't happened. The COVID crisis, economic policy, there has been a lot of disillusionment around the economy over the last 2 years or so. So certainly government will have to do something to encourage confidence.
Thank you, Michael Marillier, for those very illuminating numbers.